Hi, today I'm so excited to be here with 𝗗𝗲 Hooker. And so, 𝗗𝗲, you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm a real estate agent. I'm licensed in Georgia and Florida. I've been licensed for about 2 years, and I love it. I love the entrepreneur industry. It's definitely for me. Anybody that's looking to get into entrepreneurship, I highly recommend it.
And speaking of entrepreneurship, one of the things I really just kind of take pride in when I see it for you is the fact that this isn't like the only like endeavor you kind of taken on. Like at one point, I remember you even started out doing some retail, like you were selling, like doing clothing, kind of high end boutique sales. Um, so, so what advice would you give to people trying to break into that type of industry too?
I really would say consistency. Definitely marketing, posting every day, trying to build your clientele, whether you're getting likes or not, interactions or not. People are always watching, always referring you. So I definitely would say if that's something that you're interested in, strive for it, go for it. Don't hesitate, don't procrastinate. Find vendors on AliExpress if you have to, or go to China. I mean, not China, but California. There's different boutiques everywhere that wholesale, Miami. It's different places. If you really want to get into it, just go for it.
Gotcha. And what I love is that you kind of embraced that and used it as a stepping stone to get us not only into real estate, but girl, you are doing your thing. That's why I wanted to feature you this month because many people don't know it, but I had the pleasure of meeting you literally, Lisa, at least about 10 years ago now, a dozen years ago, who knows. I had the pleasure of being your teacher back then. And I just
Yay.
remember even as your teacher back then, you kind of standing out in so many ways because you kind of had that glow about you even back then, or you kind of had that, I'm going to make it mentality. And I think all of that just kind of, you were really consistent with your grades and making sure any project you have is on point. And I think that probably translates well into what you're doing now. But not only do you do like real estate sales, land and properties, but I see you're also doing yacht sales too.
Yes, ma'am. I am also a yacht broker. I am switching brokerages right now. I was with Pier One Yacht Sales, but I'm finding a new brokerage that kind of fits me a little more. So that is on hold right now. But yes, I am licensed to sell boats. So if you are looking for a boat, call me. I'm your girl.
Hey, and I know this is strange. It's Black History Month though, so let's talk about it, right? Have you ever or come across a black owned yacht brokerage?
No, I
I've
actually
never I've never heard of one.
I was the first African American female and just African American period on their payroll. They didn't have any. It was all older, you know, in that field. So
Gotcha. So what made you, being really young, like mid-20s or so, think to yourself, I'm gonna jump out there and be the first African American, not even that you were trying to be the first, but what made you set your sights even on yacht sales, even if it's not something that's your primary focus right now, the fact that you have that under your belt, you were the first, what made you kind of go shoot for that?
honestly, I'm all about building generational wealth. I want something that's going to last long term. I'm trying to build a legacy, longevity type of ordeal. So I don't want to limit myself. I'm trying to shoot for the stars. So if it can be sold, I'm going to sell it. If I could sell a plane, I'm going to get to that too. I'm all about I'm all about entrepreneurship, and definitely I love sales. So I felt like it would be a great thing to add onto my portfolio.
And has it proven to be successful for you just having that there?
Definitely, especially with networking and being in those rooms with different type of people with different tax brackets. You just the conversations are different, so it definitely has helped a lot.
So doing what you do you find that you have to travel more, or do you sell more properties right in this local Tampa Bay area? Like, what's your target area?
So I'm licensed in Georgia and Florida, so I target mostly Florida, but when I'm looking for land, I look in Georgia specifically because the land here is at a minimum. And if there is some, they want like $100,000 for a lot. And so I'm trying to get us to buy back those acres and our 40 acres and a mule. So That's what I strive for. I go to Georgia and I look for land that is really affordable and at a good rate that gives you a nice size, like acre 1.25 or at least an acre. Nothing small. We want
Gotcha. Now, so like when you said that 40 acres and a mule, right? So is there what area, we know we hear about Atlanta all the time, but are there other areas in Georgia that are maybe booming or on the rise?
I would definitely say the outskirts. Atlanta is overpopulated, but the outskirts, they have a lot of land out there that they have available.
Okay.
And if you need to run a search, just call me.
Okay, and it's literally that simple. Someone could say, hey, I'm looking for 2 acres within 30 minutes outside Atlanta, and you can look it up and find it for them.
Yep.
I love that. Now, do they have to already contract with you just to at least look up something initially, or how does that work?
So you just give me a call. We can set up a conference call, a consultation. We can get to know each other. Let me know what you're looking for. And then I'll just put you on my books, on my calendar, and I'll make sure I get your email and I can just send you everything that I see on the MLS. And then you can let me know what catches your eye. I'll reach out to the agent and we'll go from there.
Okay. And do you think that social media, because I see a lot of the things you post, like even looking at your background right now, is beautiful, right? It stands out. So do you think social media has been like a mechanism you've used a lot to kind of gain more people that are looking to have that first time home buyer experience?
Yes, definitely. And especially in my age group, all of us are on social media and a lot of us are hitting that age where it's time to buy your first home. And a lot of us didn't have guidance on buying a first home, even your credit. So when people reach out to me, that's my age group, it's mostly from social media. And yes, I get a lot of interactions.
And now are you able to kind of point them in the right direction or help them when it comes to things like credit or down payments and things like that?
Yes, I do credit, but I don't like doing credit, but I am able to do credit and I can get you with a lender, and then the lender would mostly run your income, your credit, and let you know where you are. And if you need more time to, get your credit up or get your tax returns back or stuff like that, they'll help you on that end. And then when you get your pre-approval, you just come to me. We'll start setting up showings.
Love that. Now with this market, right? Like I know we keep hearing about interest rates. We keep hearing about things we're at like a halt a little bit because for a minute there, the market around Tampa was like super hot. Like, I mean, people could sell it like to someone out of town, didn't have to do a staging, didn't have to fix anything. What are you seeing any different trends in the market right now?
Yes, the pandemic definitely had a big effect on the market. And now that that's over, I feel like it's stabilizing. Everybody's adjusting. It's more of a buyer's market right now because the properties are sitting. They are just sitting on the market and people are lowballing. But last year, or I would say the year before that, it would be sitting on there for 5 seconds and you got so many offers coming in. So it's definitely an up and down thing. You just have to go with the shift. That's what I would tell any realtor. Like, you shift with the market. If it's a buyer's market, then you go with your buyers. If it's a seller's market, you go with the sellers. So yeah.
Gotcha. So as a realtor, you got to be able to kind of do both.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, because I'm a licensed realtor, but I'm more than willing to send them right over to you. The law firm keeps me pretty busy.
You are a busy lady.
Absolutely. But let me tell you, I'm just so proud of everything you have going. And the reason I wanted to feature you this month in particular is because as much as I'm always going to celebrate Black history, I want to celebrate those that I see up and coming and on the rise. And when I think of you, I think of a young boss. I think of someone who's kind of paving their own way, like creating their own table. And so I think you can be an inspiration, especially for the younger people seeking generational wealth, like you mentioned.
Yes, definitely. And I thank you so much, Miss Lester, because, I always call her Miss Lester. I'm sorry. I'm so used to calling you that from school. But I thank you so much because you definitely help with my guidance and stuff. I love you.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. I love it. And so what advice, is there any, like before we go or anything, is there any piece of advice or words of wisdom, a quote, anything that you live by that kind of helps get you through a difficult day, even a good day? Like any advice you give to someone else?
I would just say, there's always going to be obstacles in the journey. And I feel like the journey is what you're really going to look back and appreciate when you get to where you're going. So just take it all in and enjoy it. And even though you're going to get an obstacle, just know that be optimistic. You're still going to come out on top. So I just try to get over those obstacles and just keep striving. Don't give up. Because I failed my test 3 times when I was trying to become a realtor, okay? But I did not give up. So don't give up, because you never know what's destined for you in the future.
I love that transparency, because let me tell you, I took that test too. It was not fun. Like literally, I didn't have to take the class because I was already a lawyer, but they did make me take the test. And that test, it felt like a baby bar exam. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I thought you were going to ask me maybe about taxes and liens. Like, right. what in the difficulty is this? You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot to take in. So for anyone wanting to be a realtor or aspiring to be one, is there any particular study program or anything you think works best?
I just would say go to a hands-on class. That's what I would say, so that you can ask the teacher stuff. You have other people around you that you can study with and that's going through the same journey as you, versus taking it online and you're all secluded by yourself and you don't have a teacher to call to ask questions. I definitely would say take it in class, and then if you don't pass it, then take it online, because you already got the gist of what you're doing. But you want to be more hands-on, and just, I would say get a mentor, but it's like everybody's learning. Everybody's still learning. So just jump out there.
Love it. Well, those are some words to live by. Just jump out there, face those fears, and just make it happen. Might be the biggest success ever. And it seems like you're literally on the up and up. I'm loving everything you're doing. Keep posting, keep inviting us into your world, and most of all, keep striving and thriving.
Thank you so much, Miss Lester.
You're going to just Miss Lester me to death, aren't you?
Miss Bridget. Miss Bridget.
Can't do the Domingos?
It's so long.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with me today, deasia. I really appreciate it. And again, continued success.
You're welcome. I love this podcast. So I hope I'm on here again.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right, Miss Bridget Domingos. I will talk to you later.
All right. Bye.